Love, peace, and soul. This is Empress Gem. Welcome to my channel. Yes, I've been prophesying. I've been talking about this breakdown for a long time now, and I finally got it done. We're coming out of the moon in Scorpio. I was doing the breakdown while the moon was in Scorpio as well, and that was the clue that I had gave y'all in reference to this show. Okay. Now, if you're new to my channel, I hope you subscribe. I hope you like. Okay, I hope that you stay around because I want to mix up my channel a little bit and bring out more than just readings. Yes, I love my readings, but I love to break down TV shows and movies, and I see so much in them. Okay, now, Elise, it was you that meant I went back to the other live. I told you I was gonna go back to the other live and see who actually told me and put me onto this show. Okay, I'm thoroughly impressed, and I'm gonna give you a deal. All right, $25 off an hour reading with me. Okay, so please email me at empressgem17@gmail.com. So that way, yes, empressgem. Yeah. So that way we could definitely set up this reading, girl. Okay, all right. As y'all can see from the thumbnail, yes, I'm trying to tell you the innocence. Okay? Holla if you hear me. Alright? Yeah, I'm doing this live because it's just easier that way. People will chime in when y'all can and just go back if you didn't catch it. Alright? Listen. Alright, first off, my first impression when I started watching the show. The first episode, of course, I was like, the acting wasn't all that. I was like, I don't know about this, but then something said just keep swimming. Just keep watching, right? So by the end of the second episode, I was like, okay, there's some science in here, right? So I was like, boom. As you will see, because if you didn't know, all right, if you haven't watched it, you're gonna have to catch this on Netflix, The Innocents. It is definitely an esoteric show. Okay, it's about it's basically about a coven. It is about the moon in Scorpio. Okay, women with that placement, and I feel that moon in Scorpio gets a bad rap. Okay, of course, yes, that's my natal placement, and they say that it's in detriment. Okay, peace and love, and they say that the moon in Scorpio is in deficit. Okay, that it's in its fall position, and that is, basically like, oh, hopeless. We just so emotional. We don't know how to control our emotions. But let me tell you how I knew it was the moon in Scorpio. Yes, so you already know, gang, gang. Hit the like button, love, as you come on in, right? So how I knew it was about the moon, right? What does the moon represent, right? Generally, the moon represents feminine energy, right? Your intuition. In certain cultures, which I learned, like in the native, Maori, Japanese, and certain African cultures, it's considered the masculine aspect. Okay, and another sister, Lucid Living TV, she brought that out, that the moon, because it transmits information, so it's considered more masculine. But what I've learned is the sun and the moon carries both energies. Okay, so it rules your emotions, your intuition, the subconscious, your fears, secrets, the shadow self, the hidden, right? When the moon card comes out, it's about, the secrets, things that are hidden. And like I said, it's the mother aspect. Now there are different, phases of the moon as well, right? The different phases of the moon, like the full moon, the new moon, and then the moon cycles in between, the Gibeahs, the waxing, the waning. Okay, those also represent the different cycles or the menstruation cycles, and also the stages of womanhood as well. So that made me think about the goddess Hecate, if I'm saying it right. Hecate, Hecate. Okay, she's considered the moon goddess, right? That she represents the maiden, mother, and crone, right? The three phases of the moon. Okay, you see that? Y'all see that? Yeah. As is custom, right? Shout out Oscar, New York, Copper Child, Mike L. All right. Yeah. So that represents the different phases of womanhood. And Hecate, she deals with also past, present, and future. Being able to tap in. That's the high priestess energy right there. Okay. And she bestows prosperity, blessings on the family. And her animal is the boar. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to start going into the details of the show. Okay. There are different characters within the show that I'm going to reference to. So if you didn't see it, you're going to I'm telling you, you're going to have to watch it in order to see it. Okay. And yeah, Hecate, she rules the night, the dark part of our psyche that we refuse to acknowledge. Okay. Again, new perspective, right? Which is the new, like the new moon. The mother nurture, which is like the full moon, and then the crone, protection, which is the wisdom. And it sets women free from the bondage created by man, right? So it's basically matriarchy, all right? Matriarchy taking back its place. We already know we're in matriarchal rule right now. Okay, Night of Hecate is celebrated on November 16th, right? Which is what? Scorpio season, right? So, Freya. No, hold on. Let me just go through the schematics and then I could go back and mention the different characters, okay? So that way I could tell y'all the reason why I felt like this was about a moon and Scorpio coven, okay? Then we could go into the characters. Then, boom, Scorpio. Scorpio, too, there are also three phases, right, of Scorpio. Well, basically three, but I learned there's 8, okay? The scorpion, the eagle, and the phoenix. The scorpion is the lower aspect. The eagle is when, you know, you're beginning to rise and elevate out of your lower self, and the phoenix is when you basically reach self-mastery, okay? And Scorpio correlates to the goddess Serket, she who causes the throat to breathe, right? Which I thought was synchronistic, because remember now, the polar opposite to Scorpio is Taurus, which rules the throat, okay? And she is the protector, helper, destroyer, watcher over the dead, all right? Facing inner demons into the spiritual world, death, rebirth, regeneration, sex, all right? We already know about that. And the spider, I learned, is one of the 8 representations. Why? Because it has 8 legs. Scorpio rules the 8th house. And spiders weave the web tapestry. All right, they represent Scorpios that sometimes definitely catch a tantrum. Okay, childish in nature. That's like one of the lower aspects of the Scorpion nature as well. And then I thought about the Black Widow. Hold on. Yeah, because I got to go back on that point. Now, so I talked about the moon. Why I figured, okay, wow, the moon comes into aspect because the main characters, peace and love. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I'm finally breaking down this show that I've been talking about for so long, The Innocents. Now I talked about the moon, right? And I'm going to go into the characters and then why I say, hey, peace, what's up? We hanging out on a Friday night. And the moon is coming out of Scorpio, so I got to do it now before, you know what I'm saying, to catch this synchronistic energy right now, because this show is real deep, okay? So, and it's about women, okay? Because so far, it's only women, and it's about shapeshifters, okay? Hold on. Now, the reason why I said, okay, I know it has to deal with the moon, right? Because the moon shifts phases, and then now it has to deal with Scorpio, right? So the moon in Scorpio, right? The moon in Scorpio is your deepest desires, okay, are that of the qualities of Scorpio: mysterious, intense, sensitive, loyal. We are complex beings. Moon is Scorpio. I'm telling you, you cannot get us. That's where the mystery comes in. Okay, people try to read us or label us, and you can't do it. You just can't do it. You can't label. You cannot label, no matter what your sun is. Okay, and we have a great need for trust. All right, and we transform other people. I realize that we are now, Scorpio is a medium. We know that, a medium of energy. And not only do we take on or are able to perceive other energies, but we also project out energy as well. I'm realizing that, especially when it comes to my children. I'm realizing when my emotions are off, they are off. Okay? Now, karma bonding. Now, Scorpio is about merging. All right? We merge with our partners. All right? Especially Moon in Scorpio. That's why, trust and sex is very important. Like, Moon in Scorpios is all or nothing. All right? Yes, we are capable of one night stands and things of that nature. We are. Okay? But at the end of the day, we want a partner that we can merge, our souls can connect, that true intimacy. All right? Feelings take over in a visceral, all-consuming way. See, this is why it's so complex, and this is why they say it's in detriment, is because we actually feel it. Okay? We, of course, it's empathic nature, but a Moon in Scorpio, when our heart breaks, we physically really feel like your heart is breaking. Okay? I remember when I was going through a painful relationship, abusive relationship, and he betrayed my trust. Okay? I remember I was in my car literally crying, and I felt like my heart, I couldn't breathe. I was gripping on to the car like, I mean, literally. Okay? Yeah, deep. We're definitely a deep people, and we can be solitary creatures for a long periods of time. Because again, we have this need for trust. So it's like it takes time to build trust. So we have to go through these periods where we go within. All right, to be able to deal with and to be able to differentiate the different emotions and the different, in our psyche. You know what I mean? How our psyche works for ourselves. And then end up in a lifelong partnership. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to go into the characters. All right, the main character we know is June, right? And June represents that maiden aspect. Even though she wound up losing her virginity, right, to Harry. But at first she was a virgin, okay? And her and him, they were first, of course you could see they had a friendship aspect to their relationship, okay? So of course they planned to run away. Y'all already know don't, like I said, you're gonna have to see it. So when she ran away, the first shift happened, okay? And what triggered it, right? It was deep emotion. It was fear, right? The moon rules fear. So she was fearful because a man was trying to kidnap her. It triggered her first shift, right? So she projected out her fear onto that person, and she physically, okay, now we know the show, okay, yes, it happened physically. She took on the form of another, right? But I believe it's because she projected her fear onto him and then was able to take on his vessel, right? Or the illusion of his vessel, right? And with Moon and Scorpios too, you wouldn't know if we're fearful at times unless we make it known. Okay? You may not know our emotions unless we make it known. Okay? So also with the shape-shifting aspect as well, that's why I said it takes over in a visceral way. So that's why physically her form changed, right? So being that, you know, she was, number one, running away. So I know she probably felt guilty for running away. Then now she almost got kidnapped. Then he mentions her mother. Now, Moon and Scorpios, there's a deep aspect to the relationship to their mothers. And then Moon and Scorpios, who are mothers, we are very protective of our children. Again, Sarket, the protector, right? And now her mother's name is Elena. Now again, for me, that is a deep synchronicity because I already connect with that character named Elena in another show, right? And that's her mother. And she comes to find out that she inherited this gift from her mother. So her mother is probably a Moon and Scorpio as well. Okay, and I know I have family members where it's this generation passed down a generation. It is a beautiful thing. It is a gift and it is a curse. It's all in your perception, you know. So her mother though has a different aspect. So her mom is on this island and she's like gaining therapy, you could say, in her eyes. She's gaining therapy. So June feels like her mother abandoned her. That's a big thing with Moon and Scorpio, abandonment issues. Again, trust, right? So we have Singrid. I'm gonna name the four characters, right? This is a coven, like I said. Now Elena has two other women with her on this island with a doctor, okay, that's supposedly helping them. Now, oh my gosh, that doctor, I don't even know his name. I just know, oh, that doctor. Every time I can say him, that doctor. Sigrid, I feel represents, again, remember I said that the moon can take on a masculine aspect, right, or masculine characteristics as well. Sigrid, of course, was a lesbian. So she represented the protector, okay? Because when June's father came onto the island, she was ready to shoot him. She was the protector, and then when y'all see towards the end, I'm not gonna spoil the whole season for y'all. It's 7 shows. It's only 7 episodes, but they are jam packed, okay? Jam packed. She was the protector, okay? Now Runa was the doctor's cohort, all right? She was his significant other. She was basically his helper. She was a shapeshifter as well, okay? And now you see these names as well: Runa, Sigrid, Elena, right? These types of names come from and also Freya. Hold on, that's 5. Bucket 5. Freya. That comes from the Nordic mythology, right? And it talks about the Scandinavian, these are Scandinavian goddesses, right? So Runa played the helper role, right? And he said, the doctor even said, you help me, I need your help, you can't leave, you can't go. Now the destroyer was Elena, which is June's mother. Now, when we find out about Elena, her character is deep as well, because when she shapeshifts, right, her trigger is love, right? It's really guilty love. She felt guilty because she knew she was married, and the man that she loved was married as well, right? And they were having an affair. So when he was like, I'm going to go away with you, I don't care, I love you, she's like, but you don't know what I am, you don't know who I am. And he was like, I don't care, I love you. And he sparked off that love. Like I said, a guilty love. Excuse me. And again, there comes the secrets. And then when you look at the moon, Hecate and Scorpio, they all represent the same thing. Secrets, right? Emotions, right? Dark, your shadow self, right? Dealing with your demons. So Elena's demon was that she was cheating, she was having an affair, and they both fell in love with each other. So when she shifted into him, She felt guilty again and ran out the house, ran down to a bar, started drinking, and then before she can shift back into her original form and give him back. Now, okay, when they would shift, the person that they would shift into would lose consciousness. Okay? Would go into another realm, would go into another state. I feel like those people were going to the underworld. You hear me? She sent them into the underworld. Alright? So that they can deal with their psyche as well. Like I said, Moon and Scorpio, we project energy as well. So she made them, they would go out, but their subconscious would still be going into another realm. So before she could give his consciousness back, bring his consciousness back out from the underworld, she shifted into somebody else. Would touch them. They would say something, she would touch them, take another drink. She was the destroyer. Elena was the destroyer. Because she was like, oh no, I'm taking everybody with me. Okay? And then once she finally came back to her original form, it was already too late. All of those people, their consciousness was stuck in the underworld. So they was like in a coma, vegetative state, right? So she was on the run, and that's when she went to the island. Okay? Now, and see, that's why I brought up about the spider and the temper tantrum and being childish, because that was Elena. She was in that spider aspect of Scorpio. Now, what's deep is the character Freya, aka Cam. Hold on. No, wait. Let me deal with Runa first. Runa, right? She helps the doctor on the island. She was the first woman. She represents the crone, right? She's the older woman. She basically was the doctor's helper, okay? Because she was his first patient, and of course, they began a relationship. And Runa represents, I think it's German for alphabet, poem, and writing. And you know that the runes are for divination and magic, okay? Runa was very wise. She still was wise, even though they were under the control of this doctor, which I felt he represented patriarchy, of course, because he kept them underneath control, right? And his means of so-called bringing them back into therapy were very crude, okay? He had them under lock and key. They couldn't wear their own clothes. They was wearing like sackcloth. Okay, they couldn't touch each other. All right, that's something that's crucial for a Moon in Scorpio. That interaction, that again, intimacy. So he had them cut off from certain ways. Now, Freya, aka Cam. Now she comes into the picture when Harry and June were basically on the run. Okay? They were on the run from, that man trying to kidnap, and the man was helping the doctor, okay? Because the doctor knew about her, knew about June through her mother, of course. And then the mother was like, yes, it'll be good for her to come just in case she is like me. So they didn't know yet until they tried to kidnap her. So that triggered everything. And so then they knew, like, oh yes, she's a shifter. It happened. You know what I'm saying? So they were on a run from, I forgot the character's name. And so they didn't know, they was trying to go to friends, like, I need help, can you help me? And for one reason or another, they couldn't trust them. Okay, they would either snake on them. Like one dude was giving them a place to stay, but then he wanted them to sell drugs for them. But they was like, all right, cool, we need some money anyway. Peace and love, welcome. We need some money, so we gonna hustle. Yeah, they was hustling. And now let me tell you this, like I said, at first I was like, the acting is kind of whack, but with each episode, it's like they grew into their character, right? So by this time they in the club, you know what I'm saying? And she shifts again. Now as she noticed, and then now what was the trigger? Drugs. Scorpio. Okay? You can't get away from it. That's why I said this is a Moon and Scorpio coven. Everything points back to it. So that was the next trigger because the girl got her high, right? Slipped her Mickey in the drink. You feel me? So when she started coming on to her, it was drugs and sex because the woman started coming on to her. So it was a trigger, and then she shifted into her. So she felt guilty again, and she was like, no, I gotta go with her to the hospital. And then, you know, of course, they thought it was drugs. So she was like, no, I gotta go with her to the hospital. So they went with her to the hospital. Then it was like, oh, we gotta check you out too to make sure you all right too. And they doing that, and then the nurse triggered her fear, and then she shifted into the nurse again. But okay, then they had, but this time, she started gaining more control of her power. How? Because she started gaining the memories, the thoughts of the nurse. And then she kind of wanted to stay in that life. Okay? Moon and Scorpios. I put up a video meme on my social media of like, you know, code switching at work. You know what I'm saying? And it was a sis that was like, oh, with a Spanish person, she was like, hey, hola, que chula, mommy. You know, and then when she seen the black dude, hey, what's up, how you doing? Hey, queen, what's up? Oh, and then when she seen the white person, she was like, hi, how are you, Mary? Da, 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 da. And I was like, that is such a Moon and Scorpio thing, is because we're able to link with people on such a personal level. Okay? Yes, we're able to read you. We're able to read people. We're able to know, you know, we can connect with you on a personal level, right? And we can see and think and what you see, you know? And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is so deep, you know, because that's how it is. It's not, and it's nothing fake. And Harry was like, why would you want to be her? That's not you. You're June. You're June. That's who you are. That's your identity. Because sometimes we could get lost in other energies around us. And that's an empathic thing anyway, but it's even stronger for a Moon and Scorpio. So it was like he had to bring her back to who she truly was, because it was getting stronger and stronger. She started thinking about how she felt about, and then the nurse was pregnant too at that. Yeah. Yes. I'm telling you, like, it's even deeper for the Moon and Scorpio. And that's how I started looking at my moon as a gift, not as a curse. It's just that you have to learn how to work with it. You have to learn how to center yourself even more so. Hey, baby love, what's up? You up? I'm breaking down this show, girl. This is my show, The Innocence. I don't know if you, anybody in the room, first let me stop, pause. Anybody in the room seen it? Has anybody seen this show on Netflix called The Innocence? It's deep. It's only 7 shows, but it goes in deep. And then now, okay, now that I paused, real quick, you know why they name it The Innocence? All right, I got this from Magic Mike. He says that people with Moon and Scorpio, you have an innocent, you have a pure soul about you. Because Scorpio does represent a sense of purity, right? And the reason why it represents purity, because look at the Phoenix aspect. It is, you know, going down into the depths, into the realm, into the dark, into the underworld, right? And being able to transmute that energy, right? And to be able to come out as a beautiful bird, okay? So it's like, it's like a, you know, Scorpio is able to wash, okay? Yes, I'm telling you. The first, like I said, the first episode is like, it's a little slow. But once you get to the second one, then that's when it's like, all right, it's jumping. Okay? So that's why they named it The Innocence. Because really and truly, the characters, the shapeshifters, and it's all women, but how much y'all want to bet for the second, you know, subsequent episodes and seasons? I bet you they gotta find at least one man shapeshifter too. There's gotta be one, okay? But so far it's all women. So that goes to show too the power of the matriarchal energy, and to show that we are in a matriarchal time right now. Okay? So now I was explaining how she met Freya, Cam, aka Cam, right? She met her as Cam. Okay, they couldn't find nobody to trust. right? So they on the run, they on the street, right? And she's shifting, but she's starting to gain control. She's trying to, and Harry all this time was helping her, was there with her, okay? In the interim, she wound up losing her virginity, right, to him, okay? Boom. So that was a merging aspect right there. So they linked, you know what I mean? So then after a while, with the nurse, boom, she finally shifts back. So they're like, okay, they start trying to learn about it in their head. And I think that they reached out to her father, and he didn't want to give him too much energy. How she found out about her mom on the island, she took the dude's phone and tried to kidnap her. So that's how she found out about her mom and that her mom was still around. And she was like, what's going on? You told me that my mother left and she didn't care about me, but my mother's here on the phone saying for me to come to her, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, again, trust issues now. Trust issues with dad. So she's trying to heal through all of this. And how does she meet Cam? Wow. Much love, much love. Let's send some love to Phyllis right now. Much love to you and your family. Much love and strength. Yeah. Yeah, because he was letting you know, like, I'm all right. Yeah. But, okay, where was I at? No problem, my love. No problem. Yeah. So, all right. Boom. Oh, with the club, they put that shit on YouTube. The surveillance video from when she was in the club and she shifted, they put that joint on YouTube. So people was like, what is this? The same girl? Look. And they slowed the video down and everything. And so she's seen it. She wound up seeing it. And she was like, look, they got this. And he was like, Harry's like, don't worry about it. People gonna think that it's, it's Photoshop or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get through. But then another shapeshifter was like, I know what that is. Holla at, meet me at such and such, such and such. So it was like an Asian dude. And then because you see, when they look in the mirror, it's their true self. Again, what is the mirror? The moon, right? In certain tarot decks, the moon is represented as the mirror. Why? Because it's a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of your inner self, your true self, right? When you look in the mirror, especially when you look into your own eyes, don't you see your own soul? You can't tell me. That's why they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So when you look in the mirror into your own, you're seeing into your own soul. You're seeing into your higher self, your inner self. Okay? So when she seen the reflection, she seen it was a woman. So she was like, oh, you're one too? Da, 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 da. Right. There you go. Yes, the moon reflects the sun. Exactly. So she came out, she went in the bathroom and went into her true form and came back out. She was like, you could do it at will? Blah, 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 blah. She was like, yeah, I could teach you this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. You could come. Boom, she comes to her crib. Her crib is laced out, nice. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out, her man is the Asian dude. Right? So they welcome them in. They like, listen, you can pick what you want out the closet, da 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 da. So June and Cam merged as friends, as sisterhood. Why? Because they both moon. That's why I always say Moon and Scorpio gang. Because only another Moon and Scorpio can truly understand what you go through. Okay, emotionally. Period. Getting through this round. Only another Moon and Scorpio can truly get the fullness thereof. Okay, of what it is to have this gift at curse. Okay, so she started bonding. She was like, yes, finally somebody I can trust. Finally somebody who knows what I'm going through. Boom. I started respecting her, right? Because she started showing, she was like, listen, okay, that's what I wanted to show y'all. Where is it? The boar. Hecate, right? Her animal totem is the boar. right? And then Freya mentioned that to her because she started showing her books and the science, because she said she started doing history, started doing research, and she was like, you know, in the ancient times, that the shifters used to wear the skins of wild boars and then shift into the boar to go into battle, right? And so she was like, wow, that's deep. And so, you know, like, so she started, you know, giving her the metaphysics on it. So I was like, okay, Cam, that's right. Go in, girl, show her. You know what I mean? So, and I seen her as like an older sister to her. So, boom, they like, come on, let's go have fun. So they take them out to the club. They go out to the club, you know, of course they drinking, da, 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 they having fun, right? No, my bad, pause, back up. She shows her how to shift at will. She's like, it's a trigger. She's showing her like something triggers you. With Cam now, her trigger is pain. So she burnt herself. They was looking at her like, ooh, you burning? Ooh, girl, you pain. Scorpio. Scorpios, we sadistic. Okay? We get off on a little pinch. We get off. Or some hey. Sometimes we revel, and then Moon and Scorpios too, sometimes we revel in our pain. That's why it's so hard to let go. You know, and then she was able to, and then she kissed her man and she's able to shift. Right? And so when she showed her that, she's like, you got to figure out what is your trigger, right? And then you got to bring yourself back to who you are. So they went out to the club. So Cam, they're like, oh, have fun, da da da. She's like, let me show you something. Takes only June downstairs into the secret room, okay? Right? The pass only. Again, she's taking her into the underworld, Scorpio. Boom, into the secret room. And then there's a man in there. So she's like, look, she's like, you want me to shift into him? She's like, nah, just appreciate the form, the body itself. You know what I'm saying? She's basically teaching her again about her lower self. Like, get in tune with your lower self. Get in tune with this shadow. Get in tune with it. You know, don't shy away from it. Right? And then Harry is like, where they went? Where they at? So as she's starting to open up herself, Harry busts in like, what's going on? This is what you doing. This is what you doing. She's like, no, Harry, calm down. He's like, nah, I'm not with this. This is messed up. So what happens? Boom. They separate, but then they go back to the crib, and then Cam betrays her. Cam did something to betray her, which I didn't respect. She shifted into Harry and tried to trick her, right? So when she realized, and she looked in the mirror, she realized it wasn't him. She was like, how dare you? How dare you do something like that, you know? So boom, that's how Freya now, right? Let me see. Yeah, she is definitely comes from the Norse mythology, right? She represents the goddess of love, sex, beauty, war, and death. Okay, she showed that, and the party girl, right? Took them to the club. That was her thing. And in some mythology, she's represented as Odin's wife, right? Expertise in controlling and manipulating the desires, health, and prosperity of others. She was very manipulative, and then when she did that, when she shifted into Harry, she showed how manipulative she can be. And in one tale, Freya, right, she possesses the falcon plumes that allow the bearer to shift their shape into a falcon. Can I say that again? Freya, in one of her tales, she possesses the falcon, which represents Scorpio, plumes that allow the bearer to shift their shape into a falcon, okay? And also the liquor ritual. Deep. Freya, I feel like it's one of the deepest characters too on this show. Now, okay, so basically, when she shifted into Harry, her man didn't like that either. He was like, listen, I thought that I told you I only want you to shift into me. I didn't want you shifting into no other men, no other people, because he knows there's a merging aspect that happens. Because she also can get into people's heads and memories, okay, and feelings. So he felt like, that was pervasive, invasive, controlling, manipulative. So then what? Her, now, like I said, the dichotomy between empaths and narcissists, we are both one and the same. So she showed her narcissistic side and was like, oh, well, I'm going to let you go then. I'm not going to hold you up. Like, because I know you want to live on the edge and you don't want to, you're so predictable and this, that, and the third and bop, 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 bop. So she basically pushed him away, okay? Did some narcissistic thing and pushed him away because she was wrong. She knew she was wrong for what she did, but she didn't want to own up to it, okay? Probably because of the things that she's been through, which will segue into. Hold on. Let me see what else. Make sure I'm not missing no points. Oh, also, Moon and Scorpio. You see the thumbnail that I chose, right? That's where you see the eyes. This is one thing, the aspect that I realized, that Moon and Scorpios, you can tell them by their eyes, okay? There's an allure, okay? There's a mysterious, very, very sensual, okay, aspect to the eyes. And all of the characters, all of the shifters, their eyes, even whether it's the color that's alluring, the shape, the gaze, okay, and aspect to the face. And then the face, to me, represents the moon, okay? So, and I see that in a lot of other Moon and Scorpios that I've come in contact with. Like one brother, a deep brother, I'm not going to name his name, but I posted up a post about Moon and Scorpio, and he was like, oh, that's my natal moon. And I knew it because when he took a picture, I was like, yo, his eyes, man. You know what I mean? And I, even within myself, like, I didn't notice until I started making videos how my eyes are. Like, they are penetrating, okay? They will penetrate you, all right? And the gaze of a Scorpio, you can't hide nothing. You can't hide nothing, all right? Like I said, all aspects. Scorpio represents water. The moon represents water, right? Which is what? What does water represent? Your emotions. So all three aspects, the triad, okay, all right, all come together. Now, I don't want to spoil the whole season. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Y'all got to check this out. I don't want to spoil. Let me talk a little bit about the doctor. Okay. Now, the doctor, you could tell, I saw how manipulating he was when it came to Sigrid. Okay? Like I said, she's the protector, right, of the clan. And Sigrid basically was healed. She learned how to, why? Because she was more masculine in nature, right? She was able to tap out of she was able to like balance out the right and left brain, her emotions with her logic. He taught them how to do mantras. And each one had their own individual personalized mantra because each one's trigger was different. I thought that was genius, you know what I'm saying? But it was by way that he was doing it. It was like by torture almost. Like you have to do this, okay? So, but Sigrid was able to break the code, right? So Sigrid broke the code. She would say her mantra and she would be able to calm herself down from shifting. Like whatever would, but he would put her through the trigger. So she would calm herself down. So he was like, oh, you're ready to go, Sigrid. You're ready to go. You could leave off the island and start anew, start fresh and return to society, where you won't be ostracized or anything or suspected of anything. So when she was ready to leave, and I said that too because remember, I'm saying it has to be a triad of three. Because remember, they was already scheming. All right, it was 4 on the island. They was already scheming to get June back. That would have made it 5, right? So they had to let go. Wait, yeah, it was 3 of them on the island. So they had to let go of one of them. So that's why Sigrid was ready to leave. So I was like, okay, so she's gonna leave. What did the doctor do? Manipulate her into staying. When he was trying to get June, he was like, listen, I'm gonna go get June. All right, I need you to stay here and help me. I need you to stay here and watch over Runa and Elena for me while I go. Again, her protective mode. He said something that manipulated her into staying. Like, okay, I'll stay till you come back, and then I'll leave. That's when I saw right there. I was like, okay, he's playing on their trust because they trusted him. This is all I'm gonna give y'all. I'm not gonna break down the whole entire show. Y'all gotta see this. It's so deep. There's so much more. So many. Oh my God, the jewels. Okay, the jewels that's in there. Maybe I'll do a part 2, but I need y'all to catch up first. I need y'all to watch at least the first 4 episodes. Okay, so definitely in the comment section, let me know what y'all think, or even after you watch a couple of episodes, let me know what y'all think. All right, let me know if y'all want me to do a part 2, because this is something that I'm definitely passionate about. Okay, and thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to do a quick reading. If y'all still up, join me for the reading. You already know, late night, queen of the night. Hey. So thank you again. Email me at empressgem17@gmail.com for any questions, inquiries about personal readings, inquiries about my crystal jewelry. I still got to come back, y'all. Y'all better catch it while it's still here. My quartz is sold. All right, I got my turquoise on deck still. This beautiful necklace. I'm fighting to keep it. Fighting. Okay? It's adjustable. These screw off, so you can take this off. You can change the pendant as well. All right? Very versatile. All right? So let me know what y'all think. All right? This was a pleasure. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Peace.